Hey everybody, Italo here from Roia Moto. Welcome back to the channel. Today I showed you the step-by-step how you can install the Acerbis fuel tank on your Honda CRF300L. Let's get started. Now here you can see the product code in case you are interested in getting the same one. As far as I know, it is compatible only for the 2021 to 2024 model. If you have a 2025, then you should get a different version, or I'm not sure if Acerbis already has one, but make sure to check on their website. Now, as always, let me share with you that I have paid for this fuel tank with my own money. That's not a sponsored video. Acerbis has not given me this fuel tank free of charge. However, there is a sponsor for the video, and that is myself. If you're looking for a toolkit for a motorcycle, throughout the entire video, I'm using the Roia Moto Tool Kit that is specifically designed for the Honda CRF300L. We also have for the Rally and for many more motorcycle models. So if you're looking for a toolkit, check out royamoto.com. Now let's jump into the installation. First thing we got to do is to remove the seat. So you're going to have this bolt here on both sides. It's either going to be an Allen bit number 5 or number 6. It depends if you have installed any rear rack. Now we're going to remove this bolt. Also here you're going to need the Allen bit number 5. Right here where you have the connection between the white and red plastic, there's a plastic pin. You press in the center. And then you can pull out with your fingernails. Now you're going to remove 1, 2, and 3 bolts. Also with a 5mm Allen bit. Now you're looking on the right side of the motorcycle where you have the radiator cover. Right here on top there's also a plastic pin that you have to press in its center. And then you pull out with your fingernails as well. Now we can pull this cover here out. And also the next one. And right here against the fuel tank you have 2 velcros in here. So if you just pull like that, then you can kind of disconnect in here and you get this part out. Now let's repeat the same here on the left side. 1, 2, 3, and 4 bolts. Now you're looking on the left side of the motorcycle. That's where we have the expansion vessel. Here there's a bolt, so we're going to get this bolt here out. And then up top, and another one right in here, you have 2 of these plastic clips, plastic pins, so you just press in the center and pull out with your fingernails. Also in here you have the plastic pin, so remove this plastic pin here as well. $8mm hex socket. We're going to remove these 2 bolts in here. Now you have this top bolt holding the fuel tank in place. That's also 8mm. So let's remove this one. Same bolt, but on the left side of the motorcycle. Okay, the fuel tank is loose, but be careful here. You don't want to yank this out now because you have some hoses and also a connector underneath of the fuel tank. So what we're going to do now, just get an old rag or an old t-shirt. We're going to lift the front of the fuel tank and just put this rag here against the frame of the motorcycle. You will soon understand why. You're going to be banging your fuel tank quite often in here. So it's just better if you put some protection here on top of the frame. Hey, a quick break here from the ride. If you're out exploring on 2 wheels, you already know things can go wrong when you least expect. That's why you gotta be ready with the proper tools and skills to fix your motorcycle. The Roia Moto toolkits are the best motorcycle-specific toolkits, lightweight, compact, and with high-quality tools. Each kit has everything that you actually need on the trail for your motorcycle model. No extra weight and room taken from your luggage. They have already helped hundreds of riders to keep rolling when it matters most. If you want to ride further with peace of mind, then check out royamoto.com. Now, back to the video. From the right side of the motorcycle, here's the first thing I want to show to you. When you lift the fuel tank like this, okay, you need to look for this white connector right there. Let me see if I can give you a better view. So there is our guy, see right there, this is the connector, okay? And you need to press on the connector right here where I have my finger. You're gonna press in there and then push it to the opposite side to disconnect from the fuel pump. So there it is, disconnected. So now we want to give ourselves some slack to disconnect this hose in here. So what I'm going to do, we're going to lift the fuel tank, but don't pull too much because you have the hose in there. I'm pulling it a little bit towards the back, and we want to unhook the hose in here. See, like that. This now gives us a bit of extra movement in here. Now we are going to disconnect the venting hose, and you have this metal clip in here that you have to press with your fingers to make it loose. So you press on it and then you pull it downwards. So here's our guy right here. See here, I pull it from this position here down. Once you do that, then you're able to pull the hose out like this. Now we have more slack to turn the fuel tank, so it's easier if you do it like this. So here's what we're gonna do now, okay? Here I have a flathead screwdriver bit. Look at this white plastic in here. So you have the black connector and then the white plastic. Here from the bottom, I can push up on this white plastic. Right here, okay, I can push on this plastic. Little pin in here, I can push like that. So when you push, you unhook it. And at the same time, I'm gonna push from the bottom. So let's do it. So I'm going with my finger, pushing, and with the flat bait, with the screwdriver bit, I push up at the same time. So that's what you want to aim for when it pops up like this. Now it's the trickiest part of this entire job, to be honest, and you're going to need 2 picks in here. Okay, so I have 2 picks. I recommend it to also have this, otherwise I think it's impossible to do it. So here's what we're gonna do, okay? I'm gonna show to you on this side, but just keep in mind you have to repeat exactly the same and at the same time on the opposite side. I come here with the pick and I put it here inside like this, and then I have to pull right there in the center. You're gonna see there's like a pin, a plastic pin in there, and you have to pry it out like this, okay? Not too strong, you don't want to break it, but you want to pry it out like this. So I come in on the opposite side, I do that, then I come on the right side, do the same, and then you have to hold tension, you have to keep under tension. Once it is under tension, then you can pull out the connector. Now that I have the connector out, okay, it's just going to be easier for me to show. But hopefully you can see there, right there, there's a little pin. See there? Or plastic, see? This is the guy that you're prying on, like that. And as you pry on it, what you're trying to do is to get those pins over this lip in here. So when you pry it open on both sides, it unhooks on this lip and then you can pull it out. One thing for this entire job, it's better if your fuel tank is as empty as possible. I mean, if you can use a siphon and get it empty, that's even better. Mine here, I would say I probably have less than a gallon or about 1 to 2 liters inside. So it makes it light and it's just easy to work, but don't do it if your fuel tank is full. Take the extra time to empty. You're gonna need a 10mm hex socket, and we're gonna undo these 4 bolts. We want to do this part very slowly, so we are going to now transfer the fuel pump and the flange to the Acerbis fuel tank. Now there inside there's going to be a float, so you don't want to damage anything, you just want to yank this up. We're going to do it carefully. And see here, the flange is actually loose. What I'm going to try to do in here, I'm going to pull via the pump itself, the white part, and try to at the same time keep the flange, everything here aligned. So just go slowly. So the way I'm seeing here, you're going to tilt this towards the back. So you can get this guy here up. And as you pass this up, now there's the float. You have to pull back like this. Now we just transfer this to the Acerbis tank. Same way. As you get there, put this inside, flip it, And there is a gasket in here, okay? So there's a gasket. Let me actually show this to you in case yours doesn't come out like this. Bit of feel there coming out, but there is the gasket. See, right there is the gasket. So let's put this guy back inside. Now let me also show to you, okay, if you, for whatever reason, you get this flange out, and here you can see that the pump itself makes direct contact with the fuel tank, so that's how it seals there the fuel. And then to put it back, you do like that. With your kit, you're going to get a washer and also a bolt, and that's what we're going to use in here. I'm going to put a bit of thread lock on this bolt. Okay, so now I'm making sure that everything is lining up correctly. And when you're tightening up these bolts, you want to do each one, okay, a little bit of the time. So you don't want to get one of them tightened up all the way and then do the others. Okay, so now it's getting to a point where I can no longer apply torque just by hand. Yeah, so now I'm going to get my ratchet. It's not a lot of torque. Now, I do not have a torque spec for that, but it's not a lot of torque. Okay, this is all hand tight. I'm not cutting the video on purpose, okay, because I want you to see that I'm doing this step by step. I'm really feeling that the tension is approximately equal on each bolt. That's what I'm doing in here. So it might be a little bit boring there for you to watch at home, but I think it's better to do it like that, so you don't get the wrong impression when you're doing it at home if I just cut the video and then you don't see it step by step. Okay, I'm happy the way it is now. Yeah, that feels right now. Okay, now I have flipped the fuel tank and I'm going to transfer the fuel. The reason why I like to do this now, I want to have fuel inside, at least a little bit, to check that there is no leakage, okay? So I'm going to keep it here. Okay, I'm now checking here underneath. Okay, that looks good. Can't see any fuel. Next thing, we're gonna add these rubber inserts. We have two here at the back and two at the front. Okay, so now we have these spacers, and these spacers, only two of them, they're gonna go here at the front, one like this, and then the other one on the opposite side in here. Next, you're gonna have this spacer and this screw in here. I'm going to put a little bit of thread lock in here. Now that's an important part in here. You have this valve, and you see that on this valve there is an arrow. This arrow has to be pointed towards in the direction of the fuel tank, and we're going to connect this right there on your vent hose. So this comes here on the vent hose, on your vent hose, and make sure that the arrow is pointed coming out of it. Okay, so once you push that in, then you have this hose clamp. Let's connect the hose that is provided with the kit in here, like that. And let's find a good way to just route this through like this. So here you can see where I have routed it through, just like that. Okay, what we need to do now is to reconnect this electro connector here that goes on our fuel pump, and also reconnect the hose. So I'm just going to bring it in the good position. I'm looking here from this side in order to put the connector back. Can't give you an angle in here, but you'll just see the connector, the white connector we've removed before. Just push it in until you hear a click. Now I'm going to connect the fuel hose once again. And push it until you hear a click. Let's line up the fuel tank in here on both sides. I'm reusing the OEM bolts to fix the fuel tank here on the side, and do the same on the opposite side. Now we have to fixate the fuel tank here at the bottom. This screw is provided with the Acerbis fuel tank, and also this bushing here, this spacer. However, this washer, I have found one here at home. In the instruction manual it tells you that you should reuse the original that comes with the Honda CRF300L, but that is not possible, so just keep that in mind. So you put the spacer in there. Okay, so now let's measure how long the hose has to be in order to reattach it. And I would say something like that. Before you remount all of the plastics, let's go ahead and test that everything is working. So that's a good sign when you hear the pump being activated. Alright, so all that is left to do now is to remount all of the plastics, just following in reverse what we have done at the beginning. I hope this video has been useful to you. If you still have any questions, just drop a comment down below. And if you haven't yet, check out roiamoto.com for our motorcycle specific toolkits. That's it guys, ride safe, and I see you on the next one. Bye bye.